Hey there, friends. Pastor Jason. Glad you can join me for daily devotionals. Today we're in Joshua 13 and 14, and I got another map for you. I'm sorry if yesterday's maps were a little bit blurry. This one should be a whole lot better. Today we're talking about the division of the land and where the tribes wind up, or at least we begin to anyway. And that's kind of be the conversation of Joshua throughout a good portion of the next several chapters. So let us get to it. Let's get to the faithfulness of the Lord. Joshua 13, verse 1. Joshua was now old, getting on in years. And the Lord said to him, "You have become old, getting on in years, but a great deal of land remains to be possessed. This is the land that remains. All the districts of the Philistines and the Geshurites, from the Shihor east of Egypt to the border of Ekron on the north, considered to be Canaanite territory. The 5 Philistine rulers of Gaza, Ashdod, Ashkelon, Gath, and Ekron, as well as the Avites in the south, all the land of the Canaanites from Ara of the Sidonians to Aphek, and as far as the border of the Amorites, the land of the Gebalites, and all Lebanon east from Baal-Gad below Mount Hermon to the entrance of Hamath, all the inhabitants of the hill country from Lebanon to Misrephoth Maim, all the Sidonians. You're going to forgive me. Lots of names today. We're going to try them. I will drive them out before the Israelites. Only distribute the land as an inheritance for Israel as I have commanded you. Therefore, divide this land as an inheritance to the 9 tribes and half the tribe of Manasseh. With the other half of the tribe, the Reubenites, the Gadites, had received the inheritance Moses gave them beyond the Jordan to the east, just as Moses, the Lord's servant, had given them. From Aroer on the rim of the Arnon Valley, along with the city in the midst of the valley, all the Medeba plateau as far as Dibon, and all the cities of Sihon, king of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon, to the border of the Ammonites, also Gilead and the territory of the Geshurites and the Maccathites, all Mount Hermon, and all Bashan and Selica, the whole kingdom of Og in Bashan, who reigned in Ashtaroth and Edrei. He was one of the reigning Rephaim. Moses struck them down and drove them out, but the Israelites did not drive out the Geshurites and Maccathites. So Gesher and Maccath live in Israel to this day. He did not give any inheritance to the tribe of Levi. This was its inheritance, just as he had promised, the offerings made by fire to the Lord, the God of Israel. The tribe of Reubenites, by their clans, Moses gave this as their territory: the Aroer on the rim of the Arnon Valley, along with the city in the middle of the valley, to the whole plateau as far as Mideba, with Heshbon and all its cities on the plateau, Dibon, Bamoth, Baal, Beth Baal Maon, Jahaz, Kedemoth, Mephath, Kiriathaim, Sibma, Zereth Shahar on the hill in the valley, Beth Peor and the slopes of Pisgah, and Beth Jeshimoth, all the cities of the plateau, and all the kingdom of Sihon, king of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon. Moses had killed him, and the chiefs of Midian, Evi, Rechem, Zur, Hur, and Reba, the princes of Sihon, who lived in the land. Along with those the Israelites put to death, they also killed the diviner Balaam, son of Beor, with the sword. The border of the Reubenites was the Jordan and its plain. This was the inheritance of the Reubenites by their clans, with the cities and their villages. To the tribe of the Gadites by their clans, Moses gave this as their territory: Jazer and all the cities of Gilead, and half the land of the Ammonites to Aroer, near Rabbah, from Heshbon to Ramoth Mizpah, and Betonim, and from Mahanaim to the border of Debir and the valley of Beth Haram, Beth Nimrah, Succoth, and Zephon, the rest of the kingdom of Sihon, king of Heshbon. Their land also included the Jordan and its territory as far as the edge of the Sea of Chinnereth, on the east side of the Jordan. This was the inheritance of the Gadites by their clans with the cities and villages. And to half the tribe of Manasseh, that is, to half the tribe of Manasseh's descendants by their clans, Moses gave this as their territory. From Mahanaim through all Bashan, all the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, including all of Jair's villages that are in Bashan, 60 cities. But half of Gilead and Og's royal cities in Bashan, Ashtaroth and Edrei, are for the descendants of Machir, son of Manasseh, that is, half the descendants of Machir by their clans. These were the portions Moses gave them on the plains of Moab, beyond the Jordan, east of Jericho. But Moses did not give a portion to the tribe of Levi. The God of Israel was their inheritance, just as he had promised them. The Israelites received these portions of Eleazar the priest, Joshua son of Nun, and the heads of the families of the Israelite tribes gave them in the land of Canaan. Their inheritance was by lot, as the Lord had commanded through Moses, for the 9.5 tribes, because Moses had given inheritance to the 2.5 tribes beyond the Jordan. But he gave no inheritance among them to the Levites. The descendants of Joseph became 2 tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim. No portion of the land was given to the Levites except cities to live in, along with pasture lands for their cattle and livestock. So the Israelites did as the Lord commanded Moses, and they divided the land. The descendants of Judah approached Joshua at Gilgal, and Caleb, remember him, son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite, said to him, "You know what the Lord promised Moses, the man of God, at Kadesh Barnea, about you and me? I was 40 years old when Moses, the Lord's servant, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to scout the land, and I brought back an honest report. My brothers who went with me caused the people's heart to melt with fear, but I remained loyal to the Lord my God. On that day Moses promised me, the land where you have set foot will be an inheritance for you and your descendants forever, because you have remained loyal to the Lord my God. As you see, the Lord has kept me alive these 45 years, as he promised, since the Lord spoke this word to Moses while Israel was journeying in the wilderness. Here I am today, 85 years old. I am still strong today as I was the day Moses sent me out. My strength for battle and for daily tasks is now as it was then. Now give me this hill country the Lord promised me on that day, because you heard then that the Anakim are there, as well as large fortified cities. Perhaps the Lord will be with me, and I will drive them out, as the Lord has promised." Then Joshua blessed Caleb, son of Jephunneh, and gave him Hebron as an inheritance. Therefore, Hebron belongs to Caleb, son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, as an inheritance to this day, because he remained loyal to the Lord, the God of Israel. Hebron's name used to be Kiriath Arba. Arba was the greatest man among the Anakim. After this, the land rested from war. Okay, so hopefully that map kind of helps you kind of understand where all the tribes wind up. Always a good thing to kind of remember. And interesting in that the Lord gives them what he promised, right? And he was faithful. Caleb here at the end gives us kind of an understanding of how long it's been in these 13 chapters, right? So these 13 chapters of Joshua take 5 years. Remember, Caleb was 40 years when he went in as a scout, and then the people rebelled and said, "No, we're not going." And then they wandered the desert for 40 years. And here he is now, 85 years old. He's 85 now, and he wandered for 40. They have been conquering land for 5 years in these past 13 chapters. And I love Caleb's faithfulness, right? He was faithful back with Moses and scouting out the land, and he's faithful now. He's like, give me the land the Lord's promised. I'm going to go and take the giants of these lands and these giant cities. Perhaps the Lord will be with me and I will drive them out as the Lord has promised. He believed before he was blessed. May we continue to believe in the Lord, believe in his faithfulness, and then be blessed. Don't wait for the blessing and then believe in the Lord. I mean, that can happen from time to time. But our faith grows and matures when we believe in the Lord and then wait for the blessing. We look for the blessing coming down the road from the moment we believe in his faithfulness. With that, I hope chapters 13 and 14 were a blessing to you. Go on out, be a blessing to those around you, and I'll see you tomorrow as we continue in Joshua. Have a great day.